The level of attacks against Amazon, they are certainly unprecedented. And, unusual. I said to the team this morning, this is a big word to use, but overly aggressive, right? Sort of dictator-like in that we're going to go after Amazon right now. Should he really be doing that? Does he need to step back because he is the president of the United States and you don't want to look like you're individually targeting specific companies? Joining me right now, presidential historian Doug Reed. On the one hand, Doug, he's a businessman, right? So he's going to look at these corporations with more of a business hat, and it's natural that he wants to weigh in because he has a view on these things from a business standpoint. But simultaneously, isn't it kind of unusual?
Yes, it is unusual. And by the way, Trish, I disagree with your previous guest that you're like Bernie Sanders. I think you're more like Eva Peron.
Eva, well, I don't know if that's such a great, that she didn't have a very good outcome, but yeah, I'm certainly not Mrs. Sanders-esque or Bernie Sanders. You know me. I am a red-blooded capitalist, and I want American workers to do well, and that is an issue. National security is part of this from an economic standpoint, but we'll save that conversation for another day. I'm torn on this. I understand where Donald Trump is coming from, right?
Yeah.
Because he is a businessman, and he's looking at this, and I've said about Amazon right here on this show, maybe there's an antitrust issue there in that the company has gotten so big, that they have their hand in everything, Doug, and, maybe it's time to break them up. Maybe it's time to break Facebook up. Maybe it's time to break Google up. There's a lot of companies that have gotten a little too big for their own good. But it's one thing for me to say it. It's another thing for the president.
And at the expense of the taxpayers, which is the point that Trump's making. Trump going after Jeff Bezos, to me, is like Teddy Roosevelt going after J.P. Morgan or FDR going after William Randolph Hearst. I mean, these big media bullies, they want to make sure Jared Kushner is vetted. Who vets them? Who elected them? And this was Eisenhower's great fear, that there was no accountability, that the founding fathers didn't anticipate a media, a giant like it is today with television and now the internet. And he felt it was a constitutional crisis. So once again, Donald Trump, in my humble opinion, is taking on a very tough issue that his predecessors have just kicked down the road like it can.
Right? I mean, he doesn't like Jeff Bezos because Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, and the Washington Post is extremely, sometimes I look at that paper online and one headline after another, they just keep coming. They have very much a specific viewpoint, and they're not entirely fair. But do you then target Jeff because of it?
But is the rule the media can lie about me, but I can't tell the truth about them? No, you don't have to worry about the Washington Post. They're going to survive Donald Trump. They'll be around long after he's gone. And the Washington Post could crush you. You can't take them on.
But Doug, he's not saying that. He's actually going after Jeff Bezos for other things.
But that's where the money is. That's where the Washington Post strength is. These newspapers don't make money except in allegiance with their corporate masters. That's how they make the money. They use the power that they have to get the tax advantages that makes them wealthy.
So let me just ask you this. You didn't like it when Obama did that, right? When he went after Staples?
Well, I didn't like the idea that he would dictate what wages would be, and I don't think Trump's trying to do that with Jeff Bezos, but he is questioning whether you can use tax dollars to make a political statement. That FDR went after, and I support Trump in going after it, too.
All right. Interesting. I think Jeff Bezos has lost a lot of money, so he's certainly feeling some pain. Doug Reed, thanks so much.